Welcome to my shop. What I want to do today is make these two small turnings just so I can show how I put in the inlays here. This one's got 2 rows of inlay and this one's got 1. I'm going to put them in 2 different ways, both very easy. This one here, I'm going to put in these small copper filings. They're really fine stuff. You might be able to see it, I don't know. It's really fine copper. This one here, I'm going to be putting in what they call inlays nuggets. It's supposed to be rocks. They're from the Inlays company. These are red colored. You can see them here. I'm going to be putting these in the other one. They're both easy to do, and I'm going to do it in 2 different ways. I'm going to put these in with epoxy, and I'm going to put this one in with CA glue. So there's not so much on building the turnings, there's nothing to them. The whole video is just about putting in the inlays. So let's get started with it. Got a simple project I want to do today. Going to be pretty quick and not too hard, I hope. I want to make 2 real small bowls with a flat lip across the top. And I'm going to try and put some inlay in them. Something like this. I've got a pretty rough drawing here. And the height will depend on the actual width of the woods I got, because I want a base piece, and then a ring, and then a lighter ring on top. So it'll just be 3 layers. I'm going to make one of them. I'm going to make the bottom out of Jatoba. I got some Jatoba piece here for the bottom. The other one I'm going to use Bacote on the bottom. I got a piece of Bacote here. And on the top, I've got some piece of yellow heart here that ain't all that yellow. I'm going to use that on one of them. And the other one I'll probably use maple on it. So I'm going to get started. First thing I'm going to do is take one of these and put it in the coal jaws. Cut me a mortise for my chuck, and then turn a ring around the edge to guide the bandsaw. Same thing I always do on small turnings. So I'm going to go ahead and chuck it up, turn a mortise in it, turn a groove to guide the bandsaw so I can chuck it up and it'll be round. I've got 2 pieces prepared for the bottom. And I used the material that was at hand. So one of them's obviously bigger than the other one. So one turning will probably come out bigger than the other one. But again, like I said, this is just really rough, what I want. It's not exact. I never do exact. And like I said, I'm going to try and do 2 inlays. I'm going to try one with epoxy, and I'm going to try one with CA glue. I'm going to use copper flakes here for one, and I'm going to use these inlays rocks for the other one. I don't know which one I'll put on which turning yet. I have no idea. So I'm just going to mount up one of these and true it up, turn a little bit in the bottom, and get ready to put a ring on it. We'll start there. I've got it prepared now. Take the first ring. I got some Jatoba here. There's only going to be one Jatoba ring, and it's going to be 4 3/4 inches. So I'm going to cut 16 segments at 0.9448. 0.945 is close enough. And then I'm going to glue them up into a ring. I'm assuming everybody knows how to make a basic segmented ring. If not, I have a video on my channel on how to make the basic segmented ring. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut 16 segments. I've got the Jatoba ring cut. It's about 4 3/4 inches. I'm going to go ahead now and cut the yellow heart for the top. This is what I'm going to use. It's not really yellow heart, but what I'm going to use anyway. Like I said, this is just an experiment, so I'm only going to put 2 rings on it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a 6-inch ring from this yellow heart. Jatoba's hard, but I got it sanded flat now. Got a good glue surface on it. So this one's ready to go. I'm just going to have to prepare the yellow heart the same way. I'm going to glue the Jatoba ring on now. After 15 minutes, I'll start turning it flat and sanding the other side. I'll start turning the inside a little bit. But I got to wait for 15 minutes after I put it on. But that's all I'm going to wait. I don't have to worry about lining up the joints because this is a solid bottom. So I'll just move the glue around a little bit, clamp her down, and wait 15 minutes. It's been over 15 minutes since I glued it on, so I can go ahead, start turning this side flat, then I'll sand it. Now I'm going to start turning the inside a little bit. I've turned and sanded the top flat, ready for glue. I started shaping the inside some. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue on the yellow heart ring, same way I did this one. I'm ready now to going to finish turning the inside, turn the top, turn the edge, and I'm going to turn the back. And for this project, I think I'm going to use carbide tools. I haven't given them a good workout yet, so I'm going to give them a try. I'm going to start with this one, which is a round one. I'm going to use it on the inside. So we'll see how that goes. I've turned it and sanded it some. Now I put a mark where I want to put a groove for the inlay. I'm going to take a parting tool and just groove it right between the lines where I got it marked. I got a groove cut in it where I'm going to put the inlay. And I'm going to take this piece, set it aside, and I'm basically just going to do the same thing to the other piece, which is going to be Bacote and maple. I've got 2 of them now. They're the same design, but a little bit different. Different woods, different size. I've finished turning them inside, turned some of the outside. I'm going to do the inlays now. I'm going to do them 2 different ways. After I do the inlays, I've got to put them back on the lathe, of course. So I've got them marked. I don't know if you can see it, probably not. Got a mark there and how they come off of the chuck, so I can put them right back on the way they come off. Now this one, I cut 2 grooves, and in it, I'm going to put these copper flakes. This one, I got 1 bigger groove, and in it, I'm going to put these inlays nuggets. They're supposed to be rock. I don't know if they're real rock or not. I think they're dyed. But I'm going to use these in it. Now, last time I used these copper flakes, I tried putting them in the rings and then putting CA glue on them, and the copper flakes got all over. Hard to get them in the rings and stay in there, they're so fine. And it just made a terrible mess everywhere. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to mix up some epoxy and put the flakes into the epoxy, and then put the epoxy in here, and I'll see if that works. I have no idea if it'll work or not, but that's what I'm going to try. So first thing I'm going to do is just mix up some epoxy. Now I got some slow set epoxy. It's not that 5-minute epoxy. It's set slower. So I'll have plenty of work time to do it. And first thing I'm going to do is just mix up some epoxy and put some flakes in it. Okay, I've got some epoxy mixed up here. Probably not enough. I'll probably have to mix some more. I don't know. Now I'm going to put some of these copper flakes in it. I don't know how much it's going to take, but we'll see here. Take that stick out for a minute. Yeah, wow. That was a whole lot. Hope that's enough. And we're just going to mix these in. See what it looks like. If I need to add more, I will. Mix them in good. Well, that looks pretty good to me. Looks like quite a few in there. So I'm going to try and put this around in the grooves now. I said I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to try it. It's got a slow cure time, so I got plenty of time to do this. Might not have enough in them, I don't know. But we'll see. At least this time copper flakes ain't getting all over everywhere. They got all over the shop last time I tried using them. I'm just going to go ahead and keep on putting this around till I get it all filled up. Well, I got it all put in. Now I'm going to have to let it sit and cure. Probably have to let it cure for about 2 days. I don't know. But like I said, this is slow setting epoxy, so I'm going to let it cure until it gets hard, at least a day. So we'll get back to that one. Now this one, I'm going to put these rocks in it. And some of these rocks are bigger than what I like. So I'm going to take and bust some up first and get some finer stuff. You put the big rocks in, then you put the smaller in, then you kind of put the powder in around it. So first thing I'm going to do is try and bust some of these rocks up. I'm going to try it in an old coffee grinder and see if I can bust a few up that way. Of course, I don't want to grind it so long they just turn to pure powder. Now I'm going to take these inlays rocks and I'm just going to pick them out and put them in a groove. And they're going to go everywhere. I don't worry about the ones falling inside the bowl. I can get them out later. And I got paper underneath it. Hopefully it'll catch some of them that fall outside. But just keep picking them and putting them in. Trying to fill them all in. First with the big ones and then the little ones. If they're too big, put them back in a jar. And just keep picking them and putting them in. I don't like that one. Until I get them all in. After I get the big ones in, then find smaller ones and fill in where they need it. just keep on putting them in, picking and choosing, trying to fill in all the little voids. I'll just keep doing it until I get it all filled in. Now, I've got the groove filled up as best I can, and it's really over full. It's everywhere. I'm going to put CA glue in the groove. Just let it run around in the groove. Then, of course, I'm going to have to take it outside. This stuff will really kill you in the shop. Let it sink into the groove. Now, I'm going to have to take it outside. This stuff's really strong. Whew. Well, they've both set up now. This is the one I used epoxy on. Mixed the copper flakes with the epoxy. They didn't get all over today like they did before. So it's set up. It's time to put it back on the lathe, turn it and sand it and see what we got. If it's half as sparkly as it is here, I'll be happy. And this is the one that we put the rocks in and then put CA glue on it. And it's also ready to be put back on the lathe and turn it. So I'm going to put them back on the lathe, turn them down, and then re-sand them. See what we got. This one turned down, and as I expected, there's some voids in it. I don't know if you can see them or not. There's one right here. There's another one here. There's a few small voids. So I'm going to have to go in and put the finely ground stuff in it, a little more CA, and let it set again before I finally turn it down and finish it. On the other hand, the one with I used epoxy on turned nice, no voids. I went ahead and sanded it and put a little bit of finish on it. I'm going to let that finish dry for a while and then I'll put some more on it. But it's looking pretty good so far. So I'm going to go ahead and put this fine powdery stuff I ground up in it, in the voids, and then just put a little CA and then we'll let her set again for a while. The voids are filled now and it's dry. I'll put it back up on the lathe and turn it down once more and we'll see what it looks like. If it's clean, then I'll go ahead and sand it off, put some finish on it. Okay, that one turned down good that time. I went ahead and I sanded it through 800. Then I used the Scotch-Brite pads on it, all 4 of them. And then I put on a friction polish, which is my version of the shellac alcohol and boiled linseed oil. So both of them now have been turned and finished. I'm going to let the finish harden now before I turn them over and do the bottom. So basically, I've got 2 little turnings, both made from the same drawing. Both similar, yet completely different. Different in size, different in woods, different in inlays, and two different ways of inlaying it. So I'm going to let this finish harden for a while, and then I'm going to turn them over and we'll do the bottom. I've got the tops, the insides, turned, sanded, and finished. What I'm going to do now is tape the edges, put them in the coal jaws, bring this tailstock up on the back with a live center, and finish turning the outside and the bottom. Well, we've got two turnings with two different types of inlay. Both of them relatively simple and easy to do. The first one, of course, I put copper pieces in with epoxy, and it turned out pretty good. It was easy to do. I just mixed it with the epoxy and put it in. The second one, of course, I used the inlay rocks and put it in with CA glue. And I had to go back one time and fill in the voids, but it come out pretty good too. So they're both fairly easy to do. And when I put the CA glue in on it, I had a fan behind my back, and as soon as I got the glue in, I took it outside. So you don't really want to do that inside, but I had to do it here to show the video. But like I said, I had a fan behind me and then immediately took it out. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I appreciate people that watch my videos, and I appreciate those that subscribe, and I do hope you come back and see my next one. Thank you.